Hello and welcome to That British Homestead. Today, well, it's a bit of a different episode than normal, but I thought, as a few of you have been messaging me and etc., I would talk to you about what's going on with my health and why I've been so flaky lately. I don't know, I'm like super nervous about this. It's been about 3 years that I've been making videos now, and you kind of lose the jitters, but I have them now, which is weird. So I'm just going to jump into it. So one of the reasons why I've reduced the amount of videos, because I was doing 3 videos a week, which is really good over the summer. Really works out a really great format over the summer because you're doing so much that I end up with like a big backlog of videos, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how can I fit these in? But I decided to drop down to 1 video a week, and I missed a few of those videos as well, and that was due to ill health. And the reason why I've not been feeling so great is because I'm very much pregnant. So I'm 25 weeks pregnant, which has gone so very quickly. And initially when I first got pregnant, I had horrendous morning sickness, and I struggled to do any harvesting or anything like that because I had such bad nausea, and all I remember is harvesting tomatoes and being like almost green because I couldn't eat any vegetables or any, like, I had meat aversion, vegetable aversion, fruit aversion. I couldn't eat like hardly anything, and I was like really green. And then I got into my second trimester, and you know, like, that is like really the sort of time where you feel so much better. But a few weeks into my second trimester, I got something called pelvic grind pain, which I don't know if you guys have ever had that, but oh my days, it is so painful. So I now struggle, now I'm 25 weeks pregnant, with the extra weight that you gain obviously around your midsection, because obviously baby, I've really struggled to even walk. So if you look back over the last few videos, you'll see that I'm either really panting or I'm really like not moving around very much. Even the video where I was just standing up in the food store, I was in absolute agony. So it's been really painful to do anything other than like sitting, mostly laying down and wearing a support belt. That was not flattering, was it? So I'm doing the best I can, sort of thing, and yeah, that's the update. So we are really excited about our new baby, and it'll be born in March. So we're super excited about that. Obviously I have my other daughter, Jazz, and she was really easy pregnancy, but I was a lot younger, obviously, because she was 9, and yeah, it's just I'm a lot older now, and this is the way it is. I know that some people have really healthy pregnancies being my age, but I'm just having not to be one. So yeah, it's been a bit stressful with that, and I've had a little bit of raised blood pressure, which is never good. So it's just because, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You roll the dice, each pregnancy is so different. But yeah, super excited about that. But it does mean that I do need to like look at my schedule. And when I was first pregnant, doing 3 videos, especially around food, was just impossible. So that's why I cut it down. Some weeks I just didn't want to even sit up, and I was very unwell. So obviously health is wealth, so that came first. And obviously with a pregnancy, you don't just think about yourself anymore, you've got to think about, you know, the baby too, which is very exciting, but also a lot of responsibility. So I wasn't, like, if it was just me being unwell, I mean, you've seen me with flu, I'm like, oh, but I just pushed through. So now basically the plan, the evil plan, do you know what they say? They say life happens when you're making plans, and I feel like that is the big thing, because I was like, oh, I have this baby, it won't affect anything, I'll get the allotment done, it'll be great. And honestly, this year was a bit of a struggle because of the morning sickness, really. But pushed through that, and we got so much food in, and that's why I'm particularly proud of this year, because we're using all the food now. I'm fine now. I can eat most vegetables, green beans. You remember how many green beans I harvested this year and stored? Yeah, I can't eat them. And beef. There's like the two things that I just hard no now. But everything else I'm eating super healthy, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, so initially I thought, oh, I'll be able to keep my schedule up, be able to do the allotment, etc. But this year I've struggled with the allotment, to be fair. And I was talking to my partner about it, and he was like, next year I'm going to help you more down the allotment. I was like, perfect. So I am obviously going to keep both of my allotments. I've already horse manured them both, so that's like the worst bit for me. Now, all I really have to do is plant. I'm doing my mission for this year, even with the bump and even with the little baby, is to plant a year's worth of food. With or without, whatever. So I'm going to concentrate on doing that. I have ordered 300 bulbs of onions, which I'm going to be putting in as soon as they come. And I find that they're like super good to put in because they're like low maintenance. They're like set it and forget it, you know. They're like the slow cooker of the gardening world. I'm also putting in a load of garlic, which I've already done. Did that with my mum, and my mum's actually going to come down and stay with us because it's so funny, because in some families you're like, oh my Jesus, baubles. It's like some families you're like, my mum's coming to stay down to look after baby, and I'm like, oh, my mum's coming to stay down to look after the seedlings, because we start a lot of things from seed, and I think I'll be needing the extra help just to make sure that they're all sort of done and all that sort of jazz. So I've like asked her to come down and look after the seedlings, and to be honest, it is one of those things that she kind of has to do because she wants about half the seedlings for herself, so she's more than happy to do it, obviously. And yeah, so March, obviously not very much doing March. I've sorted out who's going to be planting up my potatoes because they go in the 17th, and I'm due at the very end of March, so obviously it's going to be very difficult for like, I think I'll be able to get down but I won't be able to get back up. So yeah, getting all those in, we're probably going to do 4 beds of potatoes this year, and there's like a whole load of seedlings and stuff like that, so I'm going to probably do the same as I do normally, start them up roughly about February time, roughly, and hopefully there will be you know, enough time for them to be well established to be moving out in May. But you know, that it is what it is, sort of thing. We're also planning, because I don't like doing things by half, so we're also planning to we raise chickens every year, okay, and we raise very different chickens. We give them away as presents, we trade for them, and obviously we keep some for ourselves. So this year I will be raising chickens as well. It's Bailey getting off the bed, he's like spreading out. So yeah, we're going to be doing the chickens as well. Another thing is, reason why it's been so crazy over this period is because we're also renovating our house. We did have a fireplace, you probably remember seeing from another video. The fireplace is now gone, which has given an absolute ton of room in here, so it's like more roomy. We've also knocked out a fireplace in our bedroom, which is, and we're going through room by room by room, like renovating this property, because this property was built in like the 20s and it just needs like replumbing, new electrics and blah blah blah. And we've lived here for years and years and we just haven't done it. We've spent way more time renovating and sorting out the garden than we have in the house, which is just typical, because I'm like, well, I don't really care, I go outside. So yeah, now we have a reason to get it done in time, so we have really been focusing on that. which is of course super important for everything. But well, what was I going to say? Yes, so we are going to be focusing on keeping both the allotments and having some time to go down there, and we'll just have to see how it is, won't we? Because obviously this is like a crazy big adjustment in life. Oh dear. And when you've got a 9-year-old, you forget how it is with smaller children. For me, I'm like, Jazz, get in the car, and she gets in the car, but obviously it's going to be a little bit more difficult than that with a very small one. So I want to say thank you for bearing with me and all your kind comments and wishing me well and things like that. And like I said, I'm not really unwell. I'm just, you know, growing a human being, which is exhausting. And I know lots of people say, oh, but women do this all the time. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's the added complications on top of that. It was the horrendous morning sickness. I reckon if you look back at the harvesting tomato videos this year, I'm probably greening them. I can't believe how much tomato sauce, what was it that I think I counted 30 jars of tomato sauce that we've got left since we've been eating on them. I just can't believe I did all of that and could not even be near a tomato at the time. I mean, that's why I've done so much more plainer tomatoes and things like that. But you know what? It is what it is. And I think I've done all right, and I'm quite excited for the next year, and I've started to plan it. I was sitting there with my little booklet writing out what I'm meant to be doing next year, and I feel super motivated to do that. It's just my hips are killing me. So it is what it is. I'm going to be going to see a physiotherapist soon, and hopefully they'll be able to, I don't know, work their magic. But everything else is fleeting, and even if I'm in a little bit of pain, I'm just thinking to myself, well, I'm only pregnant for 40 weeks. I've already done 25 weeks now, and you know what? I'm choosing to enjoy it. I'm choosing to really see the bright side of life. And it's coming up to Christmas, which is the best time of year. Last time I was pregnant over the summer. I really suffered with the heat. I remember it being a heat wave that year, so there's a bright side. No heat wave this year. Although, considering I was looking back on photos from last year and I was like, oh my goodness, it was snowing last year. Where's the snow? It is much warmer this year, and to be honest, today, it's duck weather. That's what we call it. Duck weather means that it's raining pretty much all day, but it's not torrential rain, it's like fine rain. And we've got ducks, and our ducks love this weather. They're like out all day, splashing about, drinking out of puddles, being ducks, you know, splashing and all of that sort of stuff. So they're absolutely loving it. So I've let them out this morning, and yeah, I'll just get to relax a little bit, sit down, look after myself, and watch the ducks splash about, which is not too bad, is it? You know? So thank you so much for your patience. And like I said, I'm going to try every Friday, going to have something for you to watch, and hopefully it'll be something you'll want to watch. But bear with me, because at the moment mobility is just not, it's just not there at the moment. So I'm having lots of people come and help me, and people like my mum, she just is not confident in front of a camera, which obviously is completely fine. I used to be exactly like that too. I used to hate being in front of the camera. I found it really awkward. But you do get used to it after you've done a few videos. I was actually watching one of my first videos and I was just like, oh, cringy. But I reckon in 3 years time I'll watch this and go, oh, it's so cringy. So yeah, Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.